In December 2020, a woman's body is found in Kaiserslautern in southwestern Germany. It quickly becomes clear that the deceased is the victim of a crime in the middle of a big city. And to this day, the search for the perpetrator continues. On the evening of December 14th, a couple is out and about in Kaiserslautern. As they stroll through the city center, they notice something strange in a side street. In Staubhörnchengasse, they see a large object wrapped in white fabric. Upon closer inspection, the two realize that it is not an object at all, but a human being. The couple immediately call the police. Wrapped in the white fabric is a lifeless woman. The police can do nothing for her. The woman appears to have been dead for at least 2 days. It is not possible to determine the exact time of death. However, it is likely to have been between December 11th and 12th, 2020. The woman was the victim of a crime. It is suspected that the perpetrator knelt on the 48-year-old's upper body and strangled her. It is possible that additional force was used on her neck and mouth. The deceased has no personal belongings with her. No handbag, wallet, or cell phone. The police therefore have no idea who the deceased woman might be. She appears to be between 30 and 45 years old. The woman is wearing a white winter jacket with fur trim on the hood. Underneath, she's wearing a black long-sleeve shirt and red Puma jogging pants. She's wearing black women's winter boots and has a distinctive tattoo on her right lower leg. During Advent, the police are analyzing surveillance camera footage from the vicinity of the site where the body was found. Information about the deceased is also being released to national and international media. It is hoped that someone will recognize the deceased's clothing or her tattoo. Even before the identity of the deceased is established, an arrest is made. Shortly before Christmas, a 31-year-old man is arrested in Kaiserslautern. At the time, investigators did not disclose how they had tracked down the suspect. All that is known is that the man denies having anything to do with the dead woman. After a few days, the man is released. Apparently, the suspicion against him could not be substantiated. A police spokesman says it is not certain that he had nothing to do with the crime. At the same time, however, the police's reasons were not sufficient to keep him in custody. Meanwhile, the identity of the woman's body remains a mystery. It is not until January 2021 that a breakthrough is finally made. The woman found dead in Kaiserslautern was reported missing in Hungary on New Year's Eve. After a comparison, the German police now know the name of the deceased, Diana Bodi. The 48-year-old woman was originally from Hungary. Her family also lives there in the city of Ost. Diana had recently separated from her partner and was therefore living with her mother in an apartment in Hungary. Diana traveled to Germany just a few weeks before her death to work there. She already had some work experience in Germany and therefore spoke the language well. An agency found her a job as a geriatric nurse in southern Germany. Diana's big adventure began on November 28, 2020. The agency that got her the job organized her trip from Hungary to Germany. She arrived in the town of Eidlingen on the same day. There she cared for a single patient in her home and had her own room. She had a good relationship with the elderly lady and the two got along well. However, the employment relationship ended after a few days because Diana drank a lot of alcohol. In later police reports, she was classified as an alcoholic. Due to concerns from the elderly lady's relatives, Diana's employment ended after less than a week. The agency that got her the job placed Diana in a hostel in Stuttgart. On December 7, 2020, Diana Bodi was filmed by a surveillance camera at a bank branch. The 48-year-old stood at the ATM and tried 3 times to withdraw cash with her credit card, but without success. Unfortunately, the card did not have sufficient funds. She had no money left. And less than a week later, Diana Bodi was dead. The police were able to partially reconstruct the last days of Diana Bodi's life, although there is still no trace of a perpetrator. So let's take a little trip back in time and see how the elderly care worker might have been killed. It is Friday, December 11th, 2020. Slowly but surely, winter has arrived. In Stuttgart, temperatures are hovering around freezing on this day. Diana Bodi is standing on a platform at Stuttgart Central Station at noon. That morning, she sent a text message to a friend in Hungary. Diana writes that she is happy to have found a new job quickly. But she also writes that she has no money left and cannot buy anything to eat. Starting on December 12th, Diana is supposed to take care of an elderly couple in Trier. That is why she sets off by train on December 11th. At 2:51 p.m., she boards the Intercity Express 596 in Stuttgart and heads for Mannheim. There, Diana changes trains again, but only after some delay. Due to a fire on the line, her train departs about an hour and a half late. Before Diana boards her connecting train in Mannheim, she makes a quick call to her agency on her cell phone. She lets them know that she is on her way to Trier. She takes the regional train for the rest of the journey before getting off in Kaiserslautern. By this time, it is already 6:04 p.m. Diana has taken more than 3 hours to travel from Stuttgart to Kaiserslautern, roughly twice as long as it should have taken. The train should have arrived in Trier at 6:04 p.m. The police believe it is possible that Diana Bodi accidentally got off the train too early in Kaiserslautern. The time is correct, but due to the delay, the train is not in Trier where she wants to be at 6:04 p.m., but in Kaiserslautern. Her cell phone is turned off at this point. It is believed that Diana's battery has run out. The problem is that Diana does not have a paper ticket from the ticket machine, but has her ticket on her cell phone. With a dead battery, she cannot go anywhere. And from the text message to her friend, we know that Diana has no money left. So she couldn't buy a new ticket from the ticket machine to continue her journey to Trier. Diana Bodi is now stuck in Kaiserslautern. The next morning, on December 12th at 5:58 a.m., someone tries to withdraw money from Diana Bodi's account at the main train station in Kaiserslautern. But just before that, the credit card is declined and a withdrawal is not possible. To this day, it is unclear whether it was Diana Bodi herself who tried to withdraw the money or the person responsible for her death. The police suspect that Diana was looking for a place to stay in Kaiserslautern. Since she had no cell phone battery and no money, it stands to reason that she was looking for a place to at least charge her phone and then see what to do next. That is where she may have encountered the person who killed her. Who that was, their motives, and when and where it happened remain unclear. The location where the body was found in the side street is not the scene of the crime. The perpetrator or perpetrators merely dumped Diana's body there. And there is video footage of exactly that. It was captured by a surveillance camera in a nearby parking garage. The images were taken at 9:34 p.m. on Saturday, December 12th, one day after Diana arrived in Kaiserslautern. The video shows a man walking past the parking garage and moving in the direction of where the body was later found. At 9:37 p.m., the same man passes by again and walks back. About an hour later, the unknown man comes back from the direction of the parking garage where the body was found. He is pushing an empty shopping cart. At 11:01 p.m., the man passes the parking garage again. This time, there is something lying on the bottom of the shopping cart. It looks as if the man is having difficulty pushing the cart. It appears as if the white-wrapped object on the shopping cart is very heavy, and it is wrapped in exactly the same white cloth that Diana Bodi's body is found in on December 14th. The police believe that the footage shows the murderer disposing of her body, or at least someone who helped the killer. The man in the footage is about 5 feet 7 inches or 5 feet 11 inches tall and of slim build. He's wearing a hooded jacket, dark shoes with light-colored soles, and dark pants with light-colored stains on the shins. It is believed that the person is familiar with the area around the parking garage, perhaps because he lives there. But even though the identity of the deceased has been established, there are recordings of the body being removed, and it all took place in the middle of downtown Kaiserslautern. The case remains unsolved. In May 2022, the Diana Bodi case is featured on a national television program. The report on the case makes no mention of the arrest I told you about at the beginning. This could indicate that the former suspect is no longer under suspicion. Previously, the police had also searched for 2 people who had been seen walking in the area at the time when Diana's body was believed to have been transported through the city. The television report no longer mentions these 2 witnesses either. After the program is broadcast, a witness comes forward with new information. She called the studio and reported an encounter with Diana Bodi. The witness stated that she had met Diana at Kaiserslautern Central Station on the day of her murder. The 2 women had talked briefly there. The witness said she lent Diana her cell phone so she could make a quick call. There is no information as to whether the police were able to find out who Diana called. It cannot be ruled out that Diana approached other people on that day and asked them for a cell phone, money, or something to eat or drink. Investigators are still looking for witnesses who encountered Diana on December 11th or 12th. It cannot be ruled out that Diana was under the influence of alcohol on December 11th. She had spoken on the phone with an employee of her agency from Mannheim. The employee later testified that Diana sounded drunk. Incidentally, Diana Bodi's luggage is still missing today. She had a large, dark fabric suitcase on wheels, a shoulder bag, and a shopping bag containing several pairs of shoes. Her cell phone and wallet were also never found. Diana's dream of a fulfilling working life in Germany ended with her violent death. And her family in Hungary is still wondering who is responsible. The police are still looking for witnesses in the Diana Bodi case. They are also looking for people who saw her on the day she disappeared, either on her journey from Stuttgart via Mannheim to Kaiserslautern, or later in the vicinity of Kaiserslautern's main train station and the place where her body was found. The police do not know whether Diana had already met the perpetrator on the evening of December 11th. It is also possible that she was at the train station, perhaps even spending the night there. That is why it is so important that witnesses who may have observed something come forward so that the events can be better reconstructed. The call after the television broadcast shows that sometimes, even after a long time, an important detail can still come to mind. In such cases, it is never too late to contact the police with valuable information. A reward of up to 10,000 euros is being offered for information leading to the resolution of this homicide. And I hope, as I'm sure you do, that the case of Diana Bodi can still be solved. I would be grateful if you could share this video with anyone who may have been in the area at the time. Maybe someone saw or noticed something. Otherwise, you can also support the video by liking or commenting on it. Both stimulate the algorithm and ensure that the video is suggested to more people. This is extremely important in a case like this. Other than that, there's not much more to say. I wish you a good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you're watching this video, and hope to see you again in the next video. Until then, bye everyone.